What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today, I would like to talk about this album right here. The long-awaited collaborative effort from Kool Rap and Necro, also known as the Godfathers, and their album called Once Upon a Crime. Y'all already know that I'm a huge fan of Necro, so that goes without saying. Kool Rap, one of my favorites of all time. He's in my top 5. And if you're subscribed to me, y'all already know that information that I just said. Number 2, you already know that I was hyped up when Necro announced that this album was going to be coming out, that he was working with one of his idols, Kool Rap, and wow, fucking amazing. I hyped it up as album of the year before this shit even dropped, and the story that led up to the creation of this album was a legendary producer known as Domingo. Look him up. He put these two together. He linked up Kool Rap and Necro and said something that a lot of diehard hip-hop fans were saying, especially myself, that Necro and Kool Rap need to collaborate. And shout out to Domingo for making this shit happen. He got together, he created that meeting of the minds, and this was originally supposed to be a fucking EP, but I'm so glad that both of them collaborated so much and they had so much chemistry together that they decided to make it a full fucking album. So shout out to Domingo once again. Shout out to Necro. You know, it's all love from me. And shout out to Kool Rap. I ordered this shit, and Kool Rap and Necro signed the insert. So I'm gonna replace this insert with the signed one and then throw it in the archive over there in the collection. But since I got this out, you know, the inserts come with the lyrics and cool ass artwork and shit. Got the Godfathers all up in the mix. Different photos, different paintings of Kool Rap and Necro. And on the back, of course, you got some sucker getting his brains blown out on that shit. So that's that as far as the artwork is concerned. And production on this bitch. Necro handles majority of the production on here. Let me see. There's some co-production by Kool Rap on the song Unsub, but everything is produced by Kool Rap. Domingo helps out with the executive production on the album. So y'all already know how I feel about Necro's production. I think he's one of the dopest producers in the game. Definitely a dope lyricist. And the sound on here was a little bit different, but it was still Necro. I compared this to Talib Kweli's Prisoner of Conscience album that came out. It had a different feel, but altogether it still sounded like Talib Kweli, and the same thing is evident with this album. I felt that the production really wasn't as lo-fi, I guess, for lack of a better word, as Necro's previous work. I want to say previous to even the Murder Kill Kill EP. But y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're a Necro fan, he usually has like dirty sounding shit, but this one's a little bit clean. And but you still recognize those Necro drums and kicks and shit. So altogether, it comes together well. The beats were official, and as far as production, I got no complaints. Features on this album, I love this. They kept it to a fucking minimum. The only feature on this album is my nigga Mr. Hyde. Shout out to my man Mr. Hyde. You know what it is. I talked to you on Facebook. Love you, man. Your feature was fucking amazing, man. I remember the day that I saw what you put up in the Mr. Hyde group, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm going into the studio today to write this verse for the Godfathers album. I gotta go all in, blah, 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 blah." I'm paraphrasing it, but shout out to Mr. Hyde, man. This is another fucking underrated lyricist. Anybody watching this video, pause my shit, go check out my man, Mr. Hyde. He is one half of Psychological Records, because there's only Necro and Mr. Hyde if you don't know, but check him out, please. That verse on Wolf Eyes was fucking amazing. I didn't even think that he took a breath at all. There was no space for a breath in that verse. So, features on the shit, A+. You got 18 tracks on this bitch. No filler, everything straight to the point. Time-wise is just right. Style-wise, if you're a fan of Kool G Rap and Necro, you already know what this fucking album is gonna be about. Just straight brutality, straight lyrical bloodshed. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, there is conceptual tracks on here. In fact, Necro went on his Facebook during the process of creating this shit, and he talked about, yeah, there's gonna be conceptual tracks on there, which I'm personally proud about. That's my favorite shit in hip hop, or rap I should say, because I like when you'll take a track and just make a concept out of it that shows like depth and dexterity and all that bullshit. But for example, you have track 7, The Pain, where each bar is basically describing physical pain. What else could I talk about real quick? Trigger for Hire, where they're basically talking about being hitmen and killing motherfuckers. Track 17, Heart Attack, that's a single. I'll put up the link down there. Go check the video out. Hustler, another conceptual track where they're talking about the life of a hustler or hustling on the street. So, I mean, there's a bunch of dope tracks on here, and some of them are just straight in your face shit, like Will Kill You. I mean, the title itself speaks for it right there. Again, a lot of this revolves around Kool G Rap's mafioso type persona in his rhymes that floods over into Necro's territory, even though Necro has ventured into the gangster shit, and Kool G Rap obviously does the gangster and thug shit. And you knew this was gonna be a great collaboration, because Necro displayed on his last EP, he broke down his styles for you, so you knew on his end it wasn't gonna be no half-ass in it. And Kool G Rap, if you're a fan of hip-hop, you already know it was gonna be no half-ass in it from him. So this was a fucking great combination right here. I'm fucking happy to own this album. This fucking album put a fucking smile on my face, which is very hard to do nowadays. Wow, my rating of this album, I would have to give it between a 9 to a 10, man. This shit was way up there, man. I want to say this is album of the year for me, even though there are some things that recently have come out that have really been spectacular this year, but this is really up there. This is like up there for me, album of the year. I guess I will say it just to be safe right now. Shout out to Kool G Rap and Necro, man. Love you, Necro. I talk to you on Facebook once in a while, so I know I'll be hearing from you. Kool G Rap does not have he's not really on social media like that, so salute to Kool G Rap. Shout out to Domingo. Shout out to Mr. Hyde. Hopefully I'll hear from you too soon. And that's it. shout out to Psychological Records, and that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the review. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe, and that's it. Peace, bitches.